Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Through the Darkest of Times. This will be part 10 of our Let's Play, and oh boy, what a state the world is in. In the game, obviously. No, I mean, it's a crazy world out there right now, man. Kind of crazy, but we got a crazy world in here as well, so it's not like we really get off scot-free anywhere. Now, we have figured out that we have 3 turns left to do all this stuff, which we cannot do. So I think for the most part, we have enough supporters, right? I don't remember, is there a way to check how many supporters we actually have? I don't think so. Unless it's saying we have 60. Which we might have to throw some people into some dangerous positions to make sure we stay up, but this week we might just chill out. Yeah, okay, so we had 60. Alright. Morale of the group is very low. Yeah. Sort of knew that. Wehrmacht conquers Vyazma and Bryansk. The Wehrmacht occupies the cities of Vyazma and Bryansk. 673,000 Soviet soldiers. That's weird type there. Probably would have line braked it here, but whatever. Soviet soldiers are taken prisoner of war by the Germans. Bombs on Bremen. British aircraft drop 140 tons of bombs during an air raid on the Hanseatic city of Bremen. German police units shoot thousands of hostages. In revenge for partisan activities, German police units shoot 9,300 hostages in former Yugoslavia. You know what, says Amelia Mahler during our meeting? You never see private cars anymore on the streets of Berlin. The trains are still running, of course, but far fewer automobiles. Yes, I noticed that too. It's because fuel's running out. It's the fuel rationing, says Hannah Arendt. Yeah. Fuel has to be saved for the war effort instead of private use. It's too expensive now. Who the hell is Hannah Arendt? Okay. We're all feeling the effects of the war, even the drivers. Because you're Helen Kupfer. Who the hell is Hannah Arendt? Who is this new person that we've just picked up? I've never heard of them. Okay, so we have to get more supporters to make sure we are stable for the next stage. So the next stage is probably the last one, right? Because after this point in the war, this is where it sort of goes downhill for the Germans. This is where the Americans show up. And then the Germans kind of start getting their shit kicked in. Because they just can't win in the East. Can't, like, well, they've, like, captured Moscow, and they... Do the Germans end up capturing Stalingrad? I feel like they do eventually, but then, like, that's it. You know, they have no way of, like, occupying a land as big as Russia. At the end of the day, that's the problem with attacking Russia, is that, like, how do you hold it? It's just, the straight answer is you can't. Like, there's no way. You with conservatives? Wow, you are really good at that. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, all yours. Yeah, so we can't really do anything here, so I think... although we probably want to, like, have a party. Or some things. How many marks do we have? 42. So you can have a party. What else can we do? We can have a party there for 60, or we can have a party here for 50. So we're probably okay there. Send Ketman, like, Kupfer to go and get money, just in case. And the more missions we do, the happier we are. The less we hemorrhage. Because I would hate to lose this right at the end. Enforce. Okay, Helen Kupfer got seen. Meh. Amelia Mahler meets with a group of conservatives. We got 8 back. Yep, I know. Morale's low. We lost 8. Jews must stay in the Reich. Heinrich Himmler, head of the German police, orders that Jews no longer be allowed to emigrate from Germany. Mass deportations of Jews begin. Which one is it, Himmler? In Berlin, the mass deportation of Jews to labor and extermination camps in the conquered territories in the Far East begins. That's the international paper, not the German paper. Bad weather in Moscow. All operations of the Wehrmacht at Moscow are stopped due to bad weather and lack of preparation. Gerhard Kettmann's eyes seem hollow when I see him at tonight's meeting. He seems distant somehow. You seem distracted, Gerhard. Are you alright? I'm sorry, says Gerhard. My brother. I told you about my brother being drafted, yes? Well, he's dead. Died fighting in Russia. I'm terribly sorry. I think I speak for all of us when I say we're all so sorry for your loss. If there's anything any of us can do to help, let us know. It's pretty bad, because it's going to drop his morale even more. We have -6 morale. But we can go for a party today. In fact, we can go for the super expensive one, and I think we might, because this is literally the last day. So, yes, we're going to do this. Okay, 59 supporters, which is kind of bad. I was hoping to stay above 60, but I think we're okay. We have a party. Yes and yes. I'm not going to read that. Blah, blah, blah. Dancing and shit. Morale plus 50. Boom, we're safe. I'm about to leave the house when I run to Hildegard. Have you heard, she asks. Heard what? They took the Gutmans. Our street is free of Jews now, finally. I wonder why it took them so long. They took the Gutmans? I ask. Who took them? The Gestapo came this morning and took them away. Looked like they knew it was coming. They had suitcases packed and everything. Do you know where they brought them to? I heard they brought the Jews to the synagogue in Moabit, the one in Levitzau Street. Do you think Herman and I can move into their apartment now, or is it already reserved for someone? Excuse me? Gutman's apartment's is bigger. Herman would love to have his own room. He's at an age now where he doesn't want to sleep in the same room with his mother anymore. Is this all you care about right now? You worried about them, asked Hildegard. Don't be. They'll be resettled in the East where they belong. Every race should live where they naturally belong. It's all part of the Führer's great plan. I'm going to argue this time. I'm going to fight this back, because Germany's already on the losing side of this war at this point. I don't think that is what will happen to them. I remember what Hannah told me at the cinema about the Wehrmacht and the SS murdering thousands of civilians in the East. I need to go. Without saying goodbye, I leave Hildegard standing there and take the metro to Moabit. Once there, I walk to Levitzau Street as fast as I can. When I reach the synagogue, there are 2 trucks parked in front of it. A group of men wearing SS uniforms are standing at the entrance. Talk to the men in uniform. What is happening here? I ask one of the SS guards. None of your business. Go away or I'll arrest you. He rests his hand on the gun on his belt. Turn to the other side of the street. The guards step aside as a crowd of people begin to exit the synagogue. One SS officer is shouting at them to get into the back of the trucks. It seems to be only elderly and children, each of them carrying a suitcase or a bag. Keep watching. The trucks are crammed with people already, but the soldiers are still forcing more to get in. Once no one is exiting the building anymore, the trucks leave. Get closer. With the trucks gone, I can look through the open door of the synagogue. It is crammed with people. There must be hundreds of people. Many of them look like they've spent the night in there. Looks like it's finally happening, says a man in a blue coat standing next to me. What is going on? The big resettlement, the exodus, the great cleansing. Looks like the days of disorder and Rasenschande in Berlin are finally over. The Jews are going where they belong. Where do they belong? Nowhere, he smiles. Ah, look, he holds out his hand. The rain has stopped. Heil Hitler, he says and walks away. Something is happening at the synagogue. The SS men step aside again. Get closer. I get close to the synagogue to see what's happening. People are streaming out of the building onto the street, guarded by soldiers and SS officers, yelling commands at them. They're lining up. People stop to look at the scene as the police try to keep them at a distance. Talk to a policeman. I find a policeman standing at the offside and ask him, where are they taking them? They are making the Jews walk to Grunwald to catch their train, he says. What train? What train, I ask. The one that will take them to the east, says a policeman. They're making them walk to Grunwald, I say. So what do you care, says a policeman. I see one of the SS officers coming towards us. I'll stay. You, he says. If you don't leave right away, you can get in line with them. Do you hear me? Okay. I hear him and go to the other side of the street. More and more people stream out of the synagogue, filling the street. It's hard to imagine that until now they had all been inside that one building. Look for the Gutmans. I look out for the Gutmans, but don't recognize anyone in the crowd. Maybe if I could get closer, but the SS guards are aggressively pushing bystanders away. Then the prisoners start moving down the street. Look for an opportunity to approach the prisoners. I choose a spot on the route that's as far away from the SS guards as possible and wait for the prisoners to pass by. The crowd is huge. Men, women, children. Everyone is carrying a piece of luggage. Look for the Gutmans. I'm close to giving up as I finally see Louis, Paul, and their son Elias Gutman's familiar faces. Wave at them. Louis recognizes me. He comes over and speaks so quietly that I can barely hear him. What the hell are you doing here? I wanted to see if I can help you. And, can you? He hisses. I'm sorry. Sorry. And can you? He hisses. I'm sorry, says Lewis. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate it. But as you can see, we are fine. We're just walking to a train which will bring us to our new homes. Where are they taking you? East. They said there are places for us to live there. They just don't want us here anymore. But don't worry, we're going to be fine. We Gutmans have always managed to find a way. Suddenly he starts tearing up. Tears are running down his cheeks. Is there anything I can do? It's just... He sobs quietly. Elias, why isn't it enough to take us? Why do they have to take our children too? What do they ever do to them? Why can't they just kill me and spare my boy? I take a step back from the prisoners. For a brief moment I can still see Lewis before he disappears in the crowd. Go home. There's no such thing as new homes in the East. I know it. Lewis knew it. And the SS guards who threatened to send me on that train knew it too. I will never see Lewis, Paula, and Elias again. Yeah, you know that one. In October 1941, the regime began to deport thousands of Jews to the east and killing them there. Despite these crimes, and although it quickly became apparent that Germany would no longer be able to win the war, most Germans still supported Hitler and his regime, enabling them to continue their war of annihilation. Your leadership is strong and stable, and your group has recruited and retained enough supporters that it can persist during the darkest of times. End of chapter 3.
Like the Gutmans, thousands of Jews were deported to the east. Trains departed daily.
Can I say, I really like this game as a historical piece. Like, this is a very good, pretty accurate historical piece on, like, World War II, living in Germany, the Holocaust, and it's got just enough game in there to be engaging without just being preachy. You know, it's not just like a documentary where it's very passive. Like, this is just enough of an active experience that it can keep you entertained and engaged without just sort of talking at you.
By cold and hunger too. The rest were captured. Many of us thought that the war was now over.
Very shortly.
But it wasn't over.
Nope.
Even though the Wehrmacht had been on retreat for 2 full years, the regime had not given up. On the contrary, the weaker they were, the more aggressive and ruthless they became.
Yeah, that's how they have to keep order. That's how dictators have to keep order. Just in general. The weaker you are, the more aggressive you have to be to make up for it. Or I guess the weaker you appear. And the weaker you are. And when you start losing the fringe territories, you know, you double down on the core territories. So, like, it would have been really hard for people in Berlin and everything. Any sort of dissent would have been swiftly crushed. Because if you can't hold on to, like, your core territories, your home cities and everything, then why should the, you know, the border territories stay civil and stay stable? December 1944. We write the 5th year of the war and Germany is losing. Our cities lie in ruins. The Wehrmacht is in retreat, but the regime has not yet been defeated. Weakened, it is now more aggressive than ever, and rumors of unspeakable atrocities reach us from the east. We lost most of our supporters. Many died in combat or gave up. But we won't stop resisting. We mustn't. One final push and the horrors will be over. That's what we hope, at least. Churchill supports Soviets. British Prime Minister supports the Soviet People Republic's territorial claims against Poland. Battle of the Bulge begins. German troops starting a massive counter-offensive at the Western Front. New military award, the Warschau Schild. Hitler plans to award soldiers who fought in the Warsaw Uprising. Oh, I'm so angry I could just kill that bastard, says Arthur Ender during our meeting. Are you alright? No, I'm not. My home was robbed while I was away. Did they take any money? No, and I almost wish they had. They took my coal. I can't heat my home this winter. My family is freezing. We need coal or the money to buy some. Give 10 or 50 marks. Thank you so much, says Arthur. Boom. Morale down. Probably morale back up. Well, he gave him morale, which is kind of fine. So we need coal now? Once an everyday resource, now a vitally important, even fought over essential. What do we give to you? Probably more secrecy. It seems to always be used, funnily enough. Okay, so yeah, we can see here we have 20 turns to do things. Now, what is this? Ordinary man. Rumors have it that the war criminal and murderer Ludwig Meyerfeld is currently in Berlin and planning his escape. We must stop him. We need 3 testimonies. Okay. So that's what we should focus on. So, meet a friend. Who is good at this? Boom, done. Contact Social Democrat. Boom, done. Meet a former unionist. Boom, close enough. Meet a friend. Ugh, maybe not. Ugh, not better. Not better at all. Observe army activities. Can we sneakily do this? That's pretty sneaky. You're way better than Helen Cooper. Okay, you're gonna do that. If I do an army uniform... Okay, I'm going to try and use this armor uniform just in case we can actually use it, because I want to know. Oh, and contact a priest. Shit. You're a Catholic conservative. That would actually work amazingly well. Okay, hang on. Cancel. Cancel that. You, meet the priest. Yeah, see, priest goddamn loves him. Right, Helen Cooper, you probably can't really do that. I think we buy paint. We seem to always need it. New contacts? You still have that honorable woman. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, let's do it. This should all be pretty easy, except for this one. Hide. If it fails, it fails. Okay. Or it was only going to be 1 to 2 anyway, so really, like, what did we lose? If we fail at this, it kind of sucks, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's fine. Boom. Have a foreman. Free access to a factory or an industrial area. Shit, that's potent. All about that. Okay. It is December 24th, 1944, and despite the fact that the world has been turned into a hellscape, it is still Christmas Eve. Yeah, so didn't the World War II ended in 1945, right? Or was it 46? I feel like it was 45 was the official end of World War II. So this definitely looks like the last chapter. My neighbor Anne Manholt has asked me to join them for Christmas at their place. Bring something to eat. I decided to bring the pound of wrinkly apples I snagged at the black market. The Manholts have had a tough year. Volker Manholt was killed in Stalingrad, leaving his wife and 2 kids behind to go to the Manholts. I knock at the door and Mrs. Manholt opens. Herr Esser, come in. Mr. and Mrs. Obst are in the living room. I still need a moment in the kitchen. I will say, sorry, I'll just take a pause here for a sec to say that I really want to play this again on, like, the easy mode, where they mentioned that it was, like, for, the story. You know, you want to play it for the story, not for a challenge. Because I do kind of want to sort of go through on easy mode and really smash out those, like, main mission things. Like this Stop the War Criminal one, or, like, blowing up the bell, or maybe even just in every act, you, like, export the Jews or whatever. Like, you save Jews. That would be an interesting sort of story to follow. Just you fighting for the Jewish people. And constantly sort of helping them and getting them out of the country. So I really sort of want to go and play it back again. Would be quite fun. Give her the apples. I hand her the apples. It's not much, but I brought you this. Thank you, this is perfect. Go inside. The Obsts, a friendly older couple who live on the first floor, are already there, while Elspeth, the Manholt's daughter, decorates the tree. Creep back. Merry Christmas to all of you too, I say. The Christmas tree is a short, skinny thing that's more brown than green and looks like it will collapse any moment under the weight of the decoration and candles Elsbeth has hung. Let's hope there won't be any air raid sirens tonight, says Mr. Obst. I'm sure there won't. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present you roast meat a la Anne. She enters and puts a steaming dish on the table. Elsbeth stops decorating and takes a seat at the table. Applaud the food. This looks and smells delicious, thank you. Fake roast meat made from cabbage porridge and thin slice of sausage. Those are the meaty bits, says Anne. Hope you'll enjoy it. Enjoy the meal. While it's impossible to taste the meaty bits and the dish is far from a real roast, it is the best dinner I've had in months. After dinner, Elsbeth sings Christmas carols before she opens her presents. I have one for Klaus, says Elsbeth. Will you open it for him, Mama? I realise for the first time that Elsbeth's elder brother isn't here. Where is your brother? Where is Klaus, I ask. He is a hero now. He is fighting the Bolsheviks, says Elsbeth. Shut up, says her mother. Isn't he too young? How old is he, I ask. 16. That's the new recruitment age. He received a brief training and was then immediately shipped off to Poland. I'm so sorry. Criminals, says Mrs. Obst. Bloody criminals, sending children to fight a lost war. Will you be quiet, Waltrod? You don't know what you're saying. You'll get us all arrested, says Mr. Obst. I'm on your side. You're not wrong, but your husband has a point. You should be careful what you say to people these days, I say. Oh, come on, we're all friends here, are we not, says Mrs. Obst. I'll stay a little longer. Now, on to dessert and drinks, says Mrs. Manholt, and returns from the kitchen with a cake. There's a knock at the door. Who is that? Are you expecting anyone, I ask? No. Elizabeth, can you open the door, please? 3 men enter the room. They are wearing Wehrmacht uniforms, and the silver chains around their necks signal that they are with the military police. Kettenhunde. Chain dogs, as they call them. Stay quiet. Heil Hitler. Are you Anne Manholt, mother of Klaus Manholt? Yes, that's me, says Mrs. Manholt. Is Klaus here? Or do you know where he is? Asks the officer. His 2 companions walk through the room and poke around every corner. Keep out of the discussion. Klaus is fighting at the front, says Anne. No, he is not. That's why we are here. And there are any more rooms? One of his companions steps up to the table. Who are you people? Neighbours. Show me your papers. Where is your husband, Mrs. Manholt? He died at Stalingrad. Show passport. I try to hand the officer my passport, but he doesn't take it. Instead, he looks at me and says, Why are you not at the front? I'm on sick leave. I hand him my sick leave form, which one of our supporters keeps regularly updated for me. Just hand him the document. He takes the document. It does the trick with the normal police, but will it work with the military? Wait quietly. I wait quietly for him to finish looking it over. Fine, he says, and gives me the form back. Now your passport. Show your passport. The soldier checks my passport and hands it back to me. When he is done, he points at the candles on the Christmas tree and says, Blow out those candles. We just want to have some Christmas lighting. It's Christmas. We just want to light a few candles, I say. Christmas lighting is banned this year. Too great a danger of attracting enemy planes. But we closed the curtains, says Elspeth. It can't be seen from outside. Shush, Elspeth, says Mrs. Manholt. It is also a waste of critical resources. Blow them out or we have to fine you. Stay out of it. It's fine, says Mrs. Manholt, who blows out the candles and takes them off the tree. Room's empty, says the officer, who had searched the other room. If your son contacts you, you must inform us immediately. Hiding or assisting a deserter will be punished severely. Heil Hitler. He salutes. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Comfort Anne. I'm sure Klaus is safe. He's smart. He knows what he's doing, I say. Thank you, says Anne, with tears in her eyes. They won't ruin our Christmas, says Anne. Let's have cake. Stay for cake. We don't dare put the candles back on the tree, but we light 1 candle on the table and eat the cake Anne made from porridge and margarine. What a bunch of pigs, says Mrs. Obst, breaking the silence. Intruding into the homes of good people, chasing children, prohibiting Christmas lights. Oh, Germany, what has become of you? Ask about Klaus. I have no idea where he is, says Anne. I can only hope he is safe. Wherever he is, says Mrs. Obst, he is safer there than at the front right now. All I have heard is that it's a bloodbath. Waltrod, says Mr. Obst. What, it's true, is it not? Yeah, it's time to go home. I thank Anne and Elspeth and say goodnight to the Obsts before I go back to my apartment. In my dreams, children dressed as soldiers fight at the front and chain dogs attack Christmas trees. There is a knock at the door. Essa, open up, please. It's Anne. Open the door. Mrs. Manholt is wearing a nightgown. A boy in a Wehrmacht uniform stands beside her. It's Klaus, her son, who is supposed to be fighting at the front right now. Can you help him? Please, he can't stay with us. They will look there first. Help him. Come in, Klaus, and you go back to your daughter. I'll take care of him. Boom. We're going to save this kid. Ethiopia becomes independent. Great Britain recognizes Ethiopia's full sovereignty by signing the Anglo-Ethiopian Agreement. Which means that Italy is losing the war, because that's their territory. Success for resistance. Danish resistance fighters destroy German factory. Bombing Cologne. British planes bomb railway system in Cologne. Helen Kupfer shares her idea with us. I'm working in a hospital now, so I have the opportunity to provide us with medicine. What do you think? You shouldn't do it. Sick people need that medicine. It's mainly Nazis who get these medications. I can't see anything immoral about stealing from them. But if you tell me not to, I won't. Even though it means that next time one of us is injured, we won't have any medicine to help, says Helen. It's true. It is true. Is this ready to contact the Red Army? Interesting. Contact the British Army. Yes, I can see why these would be dangerous. Bring injured to sick bay. Interesting. I like how it changes as well. Like, just a little bit. Just enough. Okay. We're going to send Arthur Ender on this. We might even give him an army uniform. Which I noticed that we got back. We did use it, didn't we? Okay. This is fine. Oh, we need to send 2. Send Helen Cooper as well. Just because they're the ones that don't have any heat. Talk to the Christian community. I'm amazing at that. Boom. Piece of cake. Meet a friend. Boom. That'll do. Amelia Marla, can you meet a former unionist? Sure can. Looks like a plan. I wish there was a little more to it, because there's a lot of this stuff where it's like, oh, some of my people say that, you know, this sick note should hold up, but you don't sort of explain how you get that. Like, I wish you had to actually get that kind of stuff. Like, it seems like the events are sort of no-fail opportunities. It's just a story. It's sort of hard to tell. It seems like even if you, like, push the Wehrmacht or the MPs or the SS or whatever, that nothing bad ever happens in the cutscenes. It's just a matter of how you're just sort of observing what happens. Everything is fine. Goebbels says Hitler is still in good health and spirit. Bombardment. US planes attack bridges and train lines near Bonn. More SS members. Waffen-SS has now more than 1 million members. Whew. The Waffen-SS, they're the bad ones. So the SS, like, there's that distinction, right, between the German military in World War II, where the Wehrmacht, they're just the soldiers, right? For the most part, they're the ones that, like, just following orders. A lot of them may have even been in the military before Hitler even came into power. Yeah, and they were, like, the main frontline people. It's just generally considered that the SS were the really bad ones. They were the Nazis. They're the ones giving the orders to kill indiscriminately, and they're the ones that really believe in the whole, like, Aryan super race and all that stuff. You know, the Wehrmacht, they were just being told what to do by the higher-ups in the Nazi party and everything. It's not strictly true. Obviously, there's bad people everywhere, there's good people everywhere, but, you know, the Wehrmacht, they occasionally, towards the end of the war, like, surrendered honorably to, you know, Americans and worked together with Americans in some respects against the Nazis, whereas the Waffen-SS, like, they were the bad dudes. If the Soviets ever reach Berlin, I don't know if there will be anything left for them to invade, says Amelia Marla. They may just all kill each other first. Wow, that's depressingly accurate to how it's going in the world at the moment. Why do you say that? Outside, I saw a fight. Certainly not the first one I've seen, but this one was between 2 mothers, over food stamps. They just tore into each other as their kids watched. We must maintain our humanity. How terrible. The will to survive can bring out the worst in us. If we lose our humanity, we're doomed to a miserable existence. Let that sink in. People buying 80 million things of toilet paper at grocery stores, or purchasing and buying out all of the alcohol disinfectant to hoard for themselves like fucking squirrels. You know the big problem with that though, right? Like, if you take all of the alcohol disinfectant or whatever, you buy just like tons of it, way more than you could ever possibly use. You understand part of the way you avoid getting coronavirus is that other people wash their hands and like disinfect their hands as well, right? It's like if you just take all of it, it doesn't actually really work, because the people that can't get it just will ineffectively maintain good social hygiene. Just gonna get it anyway. Anyway, rant over. Right, what the hell have we got here? Ambush a supply delivery. That sounds like a bad move. Okay, so I do get the army uniform and the fake passport back. So maybe that's a strategy. In the earlier ones, where you just, like, get the equipment and you just go boom, 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 boom. Like, use it in everything you can. Like, we had 2 army uniforms there that we could have used. That maybe we should have done that. Attack on Volksturm squad. They might be boys and old men, but they are still a threat. We have to deal with them. Jesus, that seems aggressive. Right. We're gonna need more. We need more supporters. Yeah, we're gonna talk to the Christian community. I'm great at that. I'm the best at that. Catholic conservative, they love them too. Boom. See, now I don't want to be slow. Okay, so what do we need here? We need 3 testimonials. Yeah. So where do we get testimonies? Wow, what do we even need for that? We just need more marks. I mean, it's going to be red. Like, it's got to be high risk, right? Oh, wow, it's only, like, medium danger. Shit, okay. I mean, we just get more money then, right? Oh, wait, you're on that other thing. Send Arthur Ender. Doubtful pass, is that good or bad? No. We'll give him an army uniform and a fake passport, I guess. And again, we'll see how that goes. I don't really want to use a foreman yet, because it's just going to give us access to... what? That. The factory. Which I don't think we need explosives just yet. Can I try to disarm Volksturm? So if we have... Okay, so in the economy at the moment, 2 clubs equals 1 rifle, and 1 rifle equals... where was the other thing? 1 rifle equals 1 supporter. That doesn't feel like a good play. Why the fuck would I do that? Okay, whatever. Okay, we lost a supporter, but we're about to get a bunch more. Hopefully we get all this money. 45. That's a lot of bunts. Harrow Esser. Cool, we got 10, so we should unlock the next thing. The morale of the group is very low, and so is your own. Yeah. Flieger alarm. US planes attack retreating Wehrmacht at Remagen. Fight for Budapest. German weapon SS troops attack the Red Army near Budapest. Free Poland. Communist Lublin Committee becomes provisional government of Poland. Members are laughing and cheering when I enter the room. Is there something to celebrate? Yes, Arthender smiles. My daughter was born last night, happy and healthy. Let's offer him a present, says Amelia. I'm sure you're in need of some coal and food. No, really, that's not necessary. Well, actually, we would appreciate it, says Arthur. I'll give you marks. I can't really afford coal. I don't know how much we're going to really need it or not need it. But I can definitely give you money, because we just got like 1 million. Which we'll probably even just do again. Right? Send the power team again. We send 3 on the power team. Okay, it doesn't actually give better returns. So that's fine. Talk to some workers. Arthur Ender's amazing at that. Ooh, apparently not. Oh, right. Hang on. You need to be like a social democrat or whatever. Which we don't really have any. We have filthy liberals. We just give them a fake passport and some... say uniform. It's probably fine. I really want to do this rescue thing. Alright. See how this goes. Boom. We had a couple of people think they'd been seen, but it wasn't contested, which is good. No, we're gonna enforce this. Again, I want the money. Ooh, million miles been seen. That's not good. Oh shit, morale. It could be fucked here. Air raids. British bombers attack Munich and drop over 2,100 tons of bombs. Winter War. Soviet artillery units open the Red Army's winter offensive against the German Wehrmacht. Attack on England. German rocket V1 hits close to Yorkshire. I'm telling you, no one is using it. We should use it as a hideout, says Amelia Marler. No one abandons an allotment garden these days. It's too valuable for that, argues Helen Kupfer. What's the matter? I found an abandoned allotment garden with a hut. I suggest we use it as a hideout. How do you know it's abandoned? I checked out the shack. Judging by the dust and spider webs, no one has used it for at least a year. We need space for people to hide. We should take it. It's too dangerous, says Amelia. Wait, what? I'm telling you, no one's using it. We should use it as a hideout, says Amelia. This is weird. So hang on. So Amelia Marler says we should use it as a hideout. Helen Kupfer says no one does that. Found an abandoned allotment gun. It's a hideout. I checked out the shack. Judging by the dust and spiders, no one's used it for release. It's too dangerous, says Amelia. I feel like this should have been Helen Kupfer. What if the owner returns and calls the police? Let's risk it and use the hut. Can't pass up this opportunity, I say. Let's make that place a hideout. Boom. We're at 2 morale. I feel like we're fucked because we don't even know how to increase morale at the moment. So if we lose like one more set... Area Force Labor is kept. Interesting. Yeah, so if we lose one more set, which we will, because you always lose morale every day, and we don't manage to find out where like chill place is, then we're pretty screwed. So we might have to do some risky business and like we're gonna have to do this again. Holy shit, Gerhard Kettman. Okay. Harrow Silverstone, Esther Mouse. Okay, but anyway, we are going to have to leave this episode here. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the Aussie Nerd, feel free to subscribe to my channel and check out the other videos on there. If you think you know any friends might enjoy my content, make sure you share a video or two with them. I really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any hints, tips, tricks, feedback with videos, or you just want to say hi, make sure you do so in the comments section down below so I can see it. And I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.